is up, Bills Mafia? We have 325 days to go, 272 days. We have 263 days. We have 240 days to go. We have 198. We have 154 days. We have 97 days to go. We have 86 days to go. We have 55 days to go until the Buffalo Bills win Super Bowl 57.
And now it is time for the only channel dedicated to counting down the days until the Buffalo Bills win Super Bowl 57.
I just don't know if they're going to make it.
What is up, Buffalo Bills Mafia, the whole region, the whole country? Not just Bills fans. No. That looks terrible. Anybody know how to do lighting? That's better. Not great, but better. We have 36 days to go until the Buffalo Bills win Super Bowl 57. This channel is going to document every single day leading up to that amazing moment with a live stream. Here on out, it's a live stream. I've done videos pretty much for the past 320 days, I guess I've been doing this. What a loser. Every day I'm doing a Bills video or live stream or something in my basement. I don't care. I know one thing that's not a loser. That is Bills Mafia Nation. As we are heading down the tracks to our Super Bowl championship in Arizona. Gonna be an amazing moment that we're all gonna celebrate together. And it's really now starting to shape up like what's gonna be required of our Buffalo Bills to get there. As you know, the Kansas City Chiefs won today, so they locked down the number 1 seed. Okay, we kind of figured that was going to happen, and it did. They pretty much handled the Raiders without, too much of a problem. So, but real quick, let's see what you guys are saying. What's good? What's good from Land Beach? What's good? Was that a Von Miller thing that got us started saying that, or was that like pre-Von Miller? What's good? That's what I think about when I hear that. I think of Von Miller. Buffalo, what's good? 40 open? Nah. That really sucks. I was thinking today, he's not going to be back until December of next season, probably. That just sucks. Anyway, we've got Bills. Oh, that was me. I said, yo. Go ahead. I'm going to put my comment up there. I said, yo. And we are losers for watching. Yes, you are. You're lovable losers for hanging out with this guy. Thank you for making me feel better. For, just hanging out for a little bit. I don't do this for very long. 20 minutes a night? Whatever. I don't waste too much of your time, I hope. I'm sure your wives or girlfriends are like, why are you watching this? Idiot. Big J says this Pats game is an easy win for the Bills. I would say probably, right? I'm not even going to get into the game too much tonight because what else can you say about this game? I said it last night. The Patriots are in a no-win situation. They are going up against a team that is just going to be probably more if you could quantify fired upness, the Bills' fired upness and the fans and the city and the region is going to be at record levels. If there was a decibel level of fired upness, this game tomorrow would, I think, it would rival and maybe eclipse the moment when the Bills beat the Raiders and went to their very first Super Bowl. I think in many ways it'll be bigger than that. Certainly, there's a lot more in terms of the storyline for tomorrow. But speaking of storylines, I want to talk about a couple things here and then set you loose so you can prepare yourself mentally, emotionally for tomorrow. Because it's 9:40 and many of us older guys got to get to bed unless you're on the West Coast. All right, so the Chiefs won. They got the number 1 seed. We kind of expected that to happen. We were all hoping and praying, I suppose, that the Raiders would somehow beat the Chiefs, and they didn't. They didn't beat the Chiefs. So the Chiefs get the number 1 seed. And before I go any further, I want to say hello to my really good friend, Bob Marsh. Good Saturday, Stevie. Yes, sir. And happy Saturday to you down in the big FLA. Nice to have you back and hang out with me for a little bit. And then there he is. Chief KC. Chiefs. Come on, man. I got you, Chiefs. Say something cool. Say something fun. Be creative. Don't just get on and say Chiefs. Say something that just leaves me speechless. Like, I don't know how to respond. That was just so creative and so, pithy that I'm just lost for words. Come on. Give us some thought and come back. Paladin says always fear the Belichick, especially in the wild card. All right. Hopefully he can put together a game plan that was better than last year. Back to the Chiefs. They got the number 1 seed. And I'm going to tell you that despite the fact we'll never actually know whether Buffalo could have won that game in Cincinnati on Monday night, you are probably like me. You're like, it wasn't starting out so great, right? We were like watching the Bengals move the ball pretty efficiently early on in that game. And that changes quickly, right? Teams make adjustments and, what looks like is going to be a blowout can quickly turn into, a really competitive game. And then sometimes what looks like it's going to be in a blowout in the first half turns into a blowout for the other team in the second half. So you just don't know is my point. You don't know. But I will say that it was kind of like, we were watching that game and it was definite. Okay, hold on. All right, we got Casey coming back with a comment. We'll revisit that in a second. It was making us all nervous about what was possibly going to happen because we knew that if we lost to the Bengals, the Chiefs were going to get the number 1 seed. And then possibly with a Bengals win the following week, right? I mean, the Chiefs would have to beat the Raiders, I think, to maintain that number 1 seed. That's how it worked? That's what it was. But anyway, the point is there was a chance that we were going to get the number 3 seed because the Bengals then would probably beat the Ravens at home tomorrow, and then we would be looking at 1 home playoff game and then possibly going to Cincinnati. Now, it appears that if the Bills and Bengals meet in the playoffs, it's going to be in Buffalo. Doesn't appear to be. Well, yeah, it does appear to be because you can't say that the Bills necessarily have beaten the Pats yet, so appears to be. It's going to be. All right, before I go any further, let's see what Mr. Jeff Casey has to say. It feels good to be a Chiefs fan. What can I say? What can you say? I don't know. That's nice. I appreciate that. Let me give you maybe an idea what you could say. It is so good being a Buffalo Bills fan. It is like doing meth and heroin and every drug on the planet all at one time without the fear of dying. I don't know. That was stupid. All right. So by the way, I don't advise or promote doing drugs. Okay. No one do any drugs. If you want to have like a glass of beer once in a while, go ahead and do that. All right. So, but back to my point. I'm sorry. I got sidetracked. So we were not exactly feeling it on Monday night. And there were a couple things that happened in that game, which I'm going to show you here in just a second, that makes me think that, the universe, although sometimes twisted in its nature, right, with what happened on Monday night, I'm never going to say that was a good thing to happen. But with the way things have, how the dominoes have fallen, Buffalo may be strangely getting an advantage out of the tragedy that happened Monday night. I would not be saying any of this if Damar had not been improving. Actually, God, oh my goodness. I'm sorry I didn't start out the stream with that first. Damar is doing great. He tweeted some positive vibes today, and it is just awesome. I was watching, of course, like you were, the Chiefs game, watching the game right now that's in the second half, seeing fans holding up Damar number 3s and seeing the teams before the Chiefs game, I think it was, or I think both games actually, the teams got together and said a prayer of thanks and all that stuff. Just awesome stuff, like real special. So update on Damar, still in critical condition, but doing a lot better. All right. And what's up, Kobe? Nice to have you on board. So Buffalo may have got a sneaky advantage here with what happened, but what the results of what happened on Monday night and the game being canceled. I'm not saying that we were going to lose to the Bengals. I really was not. I really am not. But I think probably everyone here saw not only what was happening on the field, the Bengals moving the ball pretty good. It was only 6 minutes into the game, so who knows what was going to happen. And the Bills moved the ball, but came up short, had to kick a field goal. Not only was that happening, but did you guys see, I talked about it yesterday, but if you hadn't seen it, because no one's actually talking about it at all, it's a big deal. I think it would have been shared quite a bit in highlights on ESPN or whatever had what happened didn't happen. And that is the cheap shot that Trey Hendrickson took at Josh Allen, which resulted in his injury. I'm going to show you the video real quick here. And to avoid YouTube kind of hopefully catching me and taking it down or demonetizing the video, I flipped the video, made it backwards. I took the sound off so as to hopefully not get flagged for copyright. But I do want to show it. So I'm going to run it right here. And then after I show this video clip, I'm going to talk about what could have been the ramifications of it. So there's Josh throwing the ball out, and you see Trey Hendrickson roll up on him. Watch this in slow motion. The dude launches himself at Josh Allen and his legs. Josh Allen hyperextends his knee. I guess it was his ankle that really took the brunt of it. And I didn't see that, and everything that was going on with the game and everything. I had no idea that this took place. And that is that's bad stuff, man. And had somehow, some way that game continued, Josh Allen was not moving around very well on that ankle and leg. So I'm wondering, how much of an effect that would have had for the rest of the game. I mean, it would have had an effect. I don't think Josh Allen would have been able to run. I had predicted him running 10, 15 times, getting probably close to 100 yards rushing with the way the Bengals were probably going to have to play defense. So watching that, I know we had a lot of kumbaya moments with the Cincinnati Bengals and their organization and the fans, and that continues. But don't be fooled. Buffalo put a little bookmark in their mind on that play. Now, it's a tough game, and these professional athletes on all teams take it to the limit. And unfortunately, there are some players that will try to get it, at the very least, get into the heads of other players when it comes to that kind of stuff. And then others will actually try to knock players out of games. I can remember way back when Bills were playing the Broncos and some tight end for the Broncos, I forget who it was, took out Shane Conlon like that. basically launched himself right at Shane Collins' knees and took him out of the game. And I think Shane Collins was out for quite a while. But that happens, and I get it. And I would love to think that no Buffalo Bill player ever in the history of Buffalo Bills football would ever do that. But I'm sure they do that too, and that sucks. But since I didn't see any Bills player and haven't seen any Bills player do that in a very long time, and honestly, I can't even remember any of them doing it, and I saw what I saw on Monday night, I'm like, that pisses me off. I'm pissed off. And I'm ready for the Bengals to come to Buffalo in the playoffs. Now I want to see the Bengals come to Buffalo. And as if that wasn't enough, in case you didn't see it, watch what the Bengals tight end Hayden Hurst did to Teron Johnson. Check this out. Now, this was on the first drive of the game. Obviously, I have an arrow here on Teron Johnson. He gets blocked by Hurst, and Hurst just slams down into the back of his neck. Watch it a couple more times. Bang, nice block, but then really comes down hard. It was kind of like Gronkowski on Tre'Davious White. Slow down here for you, blew it up a little bit. And then watch this. After he comes down on his head, which he got a concussion on this, probably knocked him out of the game, Hurst looks down at him, and then, yeah, look what I did. That's what we're looking for. This team is better than us, so we got to get some of their best players out of the game. Boom. Looks down. Oh, yeah, he's knocked out. Yeah. That is effed up. That is really effed up. And if that's the way the Bengals are going to play football, then I don't know. What goes around comes around. Karma. I don't know what else you could say. So that was very disappointing to see, but that also at the same time made me think, all right, maybe, just maybe, that is after those two plays, Josh Allen getting hurt and then Teron Johnson going out, maybe in a weird way that helped with what happened. And again, I don't want to say I'm so glad that what happened to Hamlin happened. But, all right. So here is the deal as we head down into the playoffs. Kansas City has the number 1 seed. I ran the ESPN playoff machine. Love that thing. And it really comes down to the Dolphins-Jets game as far as I can tell. Dolphins and Jets. Now, the Jets are out of it. But assuming the Bills win, the Dolphins have to beat the Bills to get into the playoffs. I would imagine they will. They're playing home against the Jets. The Jets are in complete disarray. So I went through real quick, probably like you did, and with the Dolphins win against the Jets, this is what we're seeing, most likely in the playoffs. I just went ahead and picked the favorites. Kansas City, number 1. The Dolphins come to Buffalo. Who will it be? Will it be Tua? Will it be, what's his name? Backup quarterback, escaping me. That'll be probably the toughest first game in the playoffs that, we would see, honestly. What is the quarterback's name? I'm totally forgetting. Please write it in the chat below. I'm forgetting. So that is most likely what we're going to see. We're going to have the Ravens we have the Ravens and the Bengals, and apparently they're doing a flip of the coin to figure out who's going to be the home team in that one. That's crazy. I expect the Jaguars to win tonight, and if so, they're going to likely host the Chargers. That's how I see this shaping up there. Now, if somehow, some way, the Jets pull off an upset in Miami, and it's very possible. They've got a very good defense. This is likely what we're going to see. It's going to be Kansas City, obviously. We're going to have the Steelers coming to town to play the Bills. I would really love to play the Steelers, although they've got some weapons on offense that I can think could probably do some stuff in that game. I don't think any team coming to Buffalo for that first game is going to have really much of a shot. And then the rest of the playoffs is the same. Baltimore, Cincinnati, home team, flip of the coin, and then Jacksonville and San Diego. That is all hinging on the result of the Jets-Dolphins game tomorrow. I don't really see much else that could happen in the playoffs. I ran it a couple times, and unless I'm missing something, unless Buffalo loses to the Patriots. If the Bills lose to the Patriots, well, then a lot changes, right? But that's all assuming that the Bills are going to take care of business against the Patriots. And, real quick, looking at that game to give you an idea of what we're looking at, the injury report, you guys may have seen it. I'll pull it up here real quick. The Bills, they're looking pretty healthy. I don't know if you can see that very well. But there's Josh Allen with the ankle injury. Names on that list that are big: Teron Johnson, Matt Milano, Jordan Phillips, Jordan Poyer, Stephon Diggs. He didn't participate, and he hasn't participated all week. I don't know exactly what that is. I didn't actually look that up as I was approaching this stream. But all those players, aside from Stephon Diggs, were full participants in practice on Friday. As for the Patriots, they've got a fair amount of injuries as well, and they also have a couple players that are out. Big names on their list: Devontae Parker, Jalen Mills, Mac Jones, but Mac Jones is a full participant. So, they're dealing with their injuries too, and they actually have a couple players that are starters that are out. So that's the deal. I want to get into this chat real quick, see what you guys are saying. Get your take on some stuff. We got Jeff KC saying refs help Cincy out a lot. By 1 point game, no worries. I think you're talking about maybe when the Chiefs lost to the Bengals. Spoiler alert, since he won't return to the Super Bowl. I like that take, and that's a take that is right on the money because Buffalo's going to be there. Joe Marinelli, only if Ravens win, there will be a coin flip. Gotcha. Okay. Sure. All right. That makes sense. And Bob Marsh, heard that Hyde might be back. Any word on that? Well, I was blowing up Micah Hyde's phone today, and I couldn't get through. I guess a lot of people are trying to find out. No one knows. My take is if the Bills get to the Super Bowl, Micah Hyde will play. And that take comes from the thought that the dude is, 32, 33 years old, career winding down. He feels like he can play. He might have to override the doctors. I don't know if he would be able to do that. But if he can, Micah Hyde will say, I want to play in this Super Bowl. Now, will he be game ready? And will he be effective? That's another question. The Bills may not, go for it if Hyde thinks he can go. But we'll see. We'll see. The injury that he has and the surgery that he has, the recovery time for a regular person is like maybe a couple months. For someone playing football, I'm sure it's longer. But I think there's hope. And Kobe says, the Jets are beating those Finns. That would be awesome because I would love to play the Steelers. Like the Finns just bore me. The Dolphins just bore me now. So that would be cool. That would be really cool. And our KC boy says Miami might be a tough game if Tua plays. Yeah, no, I agree with you there. I agree with you there, KC. Jeff KC he's a football guy. He knows his football. It's hard to razz somebody that knows their football. So welcome to the great discussion there, Mr. KC Jeff guy. All right, and Hollywood Pallet, I don't know if I said hello to you. What's up, my friend? Can't wait to play Cincy, but it's tough. Yeah, they would be our They might be our toughest playoff game if we play them. It looks like they've been playing some solid football. Then Cincy for game 2, unless Ravens beat them again. Okay, cool. Thanks, Joe. Thanks for that update. That's why I like you guys. You guys are just so doggone smart. You know so much more football than me, which makes me wonder why you watching this stream. Buffalo Bills, New England Patriots, tomorrow, boys and girls. It's going to be the end of the season. Can you believe it? The regular season, I should say. And then it is playoff time where we're going to see our Buffalo Bills as they march towards the Super Bowl 57, where you and I know exactly what's going to happen in 36 days. See you tomorrow.
The Bills make me wanna shout, kick your heels up and shout, throw your hands up and shout, throw your head back and shout. Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Say you will.
Shout it right now, baby.
Say you will.
Come on, come on.
Say you will.
Come on and shout.
Say you will.
Yeah.
Shout.
Buffalo's happening now.
Shout.
We're on the move now.
Shout.
The Bills are happening now.
Shout.
They're making it happen now.
Shout.
We got the spirit,
Shout.
a lot of spirit, yeah.
Shout.
We got the spirit.
Shout.
Just watch it happen now. Hey, 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 hey. Let's go Buffalo.
Let's go Buffalo.
Let's go Buffalo.
Let's go Buffalo.
The Bills make me wanna
Shout.